Okay, Mr. David, for your information, we have around 200 participants.
That's a very strong number.
Most of them are teachers.
So 200 is a strong number, and you said they're teachers. Everybody here is teacher from a school.
Yeah.
It's very exciting for me to see so many teachers who are interested in chess. we don't have the same in Australia. It would be very nice to see so many teachers interested in chess. Actually, I spend a lot of my time teaching children chess in schools, and I see the first-hand evidence about how valuable chess is for teaching thinking skills to students. Actually, my main company, it's an education company, and we're doing all sorts of enrichment programs in schools all across Australia and India. And yeah, it's this 21st century education. 21st century education.
That's great, David.
Test. Okay. Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. The moment you have waiting for has finally come. From Australia, we bring you Mr. David Cordova, founder and CEO of Tornelo. Everyone, please welcome Mr. David Cordova.
Thank you very much, man. If we're ready to begin, we have enough participants.
Yeah, I think we can start the talk because I already record this program too, and maybe if they're late, they can see the video.
Perfect.
Later. So I think we can start now.
Right. So we can do a video later on. Okay, let me just introduce myself quickly. Thank you very much. As Nina said, I'm the founder and CEO of Tornelo. But I guess it's good to understand, where did Tornelo come from and why does Tornelo even exist? So actually my life started in education, and I had a company teaching children chess in schools. And we had 600 schools across Australia that were learning chess programs through our company. And so we were running a lot of chess tournaments for those players at schools as well. And those tournaments, we had something like one chess tournament every single day, with some school children, some inter-school competitions, some school championships within the school, because the chess competition is what we call the celebration of learning. So in any education setting, the students need always to understand why they're learning something. It's not just about putting information into a child's head, but it's about understanding the context of why they're learning. And so a celebration of learning, it's really important as motivation, and also I guess for the students to get the confidence that they see that they actually learned something. So they learned how to play chess, and then they play a game. They can see that actually the learning process is underway, that they're taking something with them. So we had something like 300 chess tournaments every year. We built Tornelo as a platform for managing these chess tournaments. So we could collect a registration for the tournament. We could organize who plays against who in the chess tournament. And then after that, we could control the results and manage a chess rating. So a rating is a number that tells you how good you are in chess, and you can compare players against one another. Okay, so yeah, we built the platform to manage these three stages: the registrations, the actual management of the tournament, and then the ratings and results and player profiles afterwards. In the start of 2020, so now 15, nearly 16 months ago, COVID came to Australia, and this situation, of course, changed chess forever across the world, and it's even now COVID is finished in Australia. Even now COVID's finished in Australia, we're still seeing that it's impacting greatly on schools and how the education is working. So we, at that point, decided to build some online games component to Tornelo as well. So before March of 2020 or April of 2020, Tornelo was just a management system for doing pairings and organizing a chess tournament. And then after COVID came, we also added this online game server, so you could manage the tournament but also play the games as well. And so the advantage is that you get a lot of control over the games. And so you can stop games, you can talk to players, you can adjust clocks, you can really get involved with the players a lot more than you can on a mega platform where the kids can go and play games, but they can't really play in an organized tournament. So yeah, this is our journey so far. We've been used now by almost all of the national federations and the World Federation for chess to organize high-level chess tournaments because of the ability that we can really control the games and get involved with the players a lot more. Now, when you're running any sort of school-based competition, this is the most important thing. You know, you need to engage with the students while you're playing, while they're playing their games, because when you engage with the students, then this gives you the opportunity to give some learning advice. So you can give them advice about the games, you can support them on their journey, and so I think Tornelo, it's a perfect platform for schools and for teachers at schools and for chess teachers to be using to organize chess tournaments. So even in the last year, we have something like still maybe 150 or 200 tournaments through the last year, online tournaments now because we can't play face to face. So yeah, it's been an interesting change to the way the world works, and I think we have to try to see the positives that are coming from online education and the adoption of technology like Zoom, like Tornelo, because there are some really good things about the change to online. And when COVID is finished, everything will go back to face, but I think we're still going to take some of the convenience and some of the opportunities that come with online education. And so, I hope to see that these sorts of things are changing. So what I'm going to do is today is show everybody the platform, how it works, and how you can run a tournament for kids on the platform very, very easily. At the end of the session, this will take maybe close to an hour. And at the end of that session, we'll have questions. And we'll also have the ability for everybody to maybe jump in and see if we can play like one or two games ourselves, just to give you the practical experience of what it's like to be playing a game of chess on Tornelo. So be prepared. There's going to be some hands-on aspect as well. So you can jump in and actually log onto the site and play a game, because without that, you might find it's just theory, and so we're going to talk about some theory, but also we're going to try and give you some practical aspect. So just be ready for that. At the end, we're going to open up a tournament. We're going to let everybody join, and you're going to see what it's like to be a player on Tornelo, so that you can I guess better experience what we're doing. So what I'm going to do is just open up my browser, and I'll share my screen with everybody. Okay, so I think everybody can see the screen now, I hope. Okay, so this is the homepage for Tornelo, and I'll just give you a quick tour of the site and how things work, so that you've got an understanding of the kind of layout, and then we kind of dig into what you need in order to set up a chess tournament and manage that. So Tornelo, we have really just a few menus across the top that will help you to find everything that you need. The main thing, if you're looking for manuals, for advice, for support, this is Start Here is the place to start. So you're able to start by creating your organization. You can join a Discord server and get technical support, and you can get some help to actually run the tournaments. We have some videos, we have some introduction, YouTube videos, we have some manuals, and we have also a help center where you can ask specific questions and you can find answers and descriptions about almost all of our features. If you're running international tournaments, and this isn't going to be so relevant for us here today, but there are some regulations here if you're running international tournaments, and also some templates for organizers who are running higher level tournaments. So again, some of this stuff might be more than what's needed for a schools competition, but these, like for example, closing ceremony, that gives you a slideshow, so you can do some presentations at the end. So this has all of the resources that you need. We have some regular webinars, which are free for mostly for people to attend. And so you can see, every couple of weeks we're running some different webinars about something on Tornelo. The blog is usually where you find all of the updates. Now, as I said, Tornelo really it's only been running as an online games platform for just a bit more than 1 year. So we're still improving and developing new features all the time. Okay, all the time we're developing new features. So every week we usually do a release, and every couple of weeks we get some major releases with some changes and some new features, and you can find about all of the new changes on the website here. We have some arbiter training certificates. So if you wanted to become more of a professional chess tournament arbiter, you've got some ability to do that there. Okay, the main site is when you click sign in, you'll be prompted to create an account. And once you've created an account, then you'll have the ability to log in to Tornelo. Anytime if you forget your password, you can just reset your password. It easily comes back to you on your email address, and you'll sign in with an email, and that will be your I guess your access point to actually being able to do all of the functionality on Tornelo. So in the top right hand corner here, we see the icon. This means that we're signed in, and I can now start doing some activities on Tornelo. So the first thing to understand is Tornelo is a platform for scheduled events. You're not asking the players themselves to become like members of Tornelo, and we're like sending them emails and trying to communicate with the players and making some business with the players. Tornelo is a tool for tournament organisers to use. So if you want to run a chess tournament in your school, if you want to run a chess tournament in your community, you are the person running the tournament, not Tornelo. And Tornelo is the tool that does that. Like Zoom is a tool for organisers of seminars and meetings to communicate. Okay, and Tornelo is a tool for organisers to manage a chess tournament. So we're not, like Zoom isn't signing up every single participant in every single meeting for some business. We're the same. So each tournament on Tornelo is owned by an organisation. Now that organisation might be like the Continental Federation. It might be a coaching business. It might be a national federation. It might be just some sort of coach or even a school. So you can see here that we have many organisations, and sometimes even a school creates their organisation. They can put their school logo. You can have the name of the school, and then all of the games that are played, it's understood that they belong to that school. Okay, so you can see here, these are all of the organisations that I have been involved with directly. You can see all of these ones coming on here. And every player, when they sign in, they will see the organisations that they have been involved with. So for example, if they played some games in a tournament for one of these organisations, then they'll show up on the side for that person. So when that player signs in, they'll always see their school organisation or the local chess club, if there's a chess club that's running it. So the first step to creating a tournament is you need to have an organisation. You need something or someone who's going to own the tournament. So we start with the organisations, and you can create a new organisation here. Okay. We have now more than 4,500 organisations across the world that are running chess tournaments. So when you create your organisation, you're not going to be alone there, and you can make your school name. Chatur school, to mixed languages, and then you'll get this URL, and this is your organisation's website. Okay, this is the location. You can put image and pictures and things like that as well, and you'll then create an organisation. Once you've created an organisation, then it's going to look something like this. Okay, and the organisation, you get your logo, you get some information, and now you can start running tournaments. Okay. So you can see here, this is all of the tournaments that we've had in the organisation, and all of your players, they'll keep coming back to this website, and they can view all of your tournaments from this website. All right, so now the next step as the tournament organizer is to run an event. So we actually want to create some tournaments and then get some players into the tournament and then manage people to play against one another. So we're going to start by clicking run an event, and this gives you all of the settings for a chess tournament. So your organization, this is the organization that you just created. We have the name of the event. Okay, we can call it a practice event. And then there's some other, required settings, mostly about, where's the tournament being taken place, so that we can have a time zone in a particular location time zone. So we can create these tournaments with some basic settings. After that, everything else is optional. So you have to put in this information here, this basic information, but everything else is optional. So I can just take you through some of these things, and we'll show you some of the aspects. But you'll be able to, over time, control all different parts of this tournament. So I'll be able to show you these things later on. But you have many different aspects of how you want to set up your tournament. I guess when you're talking about schools and kids tournaments, one of the most important things for us in Australia is about privacy. We don't want all of the children's details to be public and to be showing up on Google searches. So you can make a private or a community tournament. And what the difference between these tournaments, a community tournament is visible, it can be searched and found by people in the Tornelo community. So if you're signed into Tornelo, you can find these tournaments that are community tournaments. If you're a public tournament, this means that not only the players and the people who are signed into Tornelo, but also Google and all of the web browsers who are indexing pages and setting them up for search can find those tournaments. So if you have some privacy concerns, your players don't want their names up on the website, or if you're running a tournament for your school with all of the players in your class, you probably don't want those tournaments to be publicly available. You can make a community tournament. It just means that people can't find it, but you could still share the link for that tournament with the parents, with the students, and everybody who has the link can access the tournament. It just means that Google and other search engines who are looking for it can't find it. So you can't then search for those people's names. So this is probably a good setting here. The other one you have to make sure is we have this one ticked here to say that you want to take entries online. So we can collect entries through the website and people can register for those sites. Okay, so this is if they wanted to do international ratings, you could use their international profile. Okay, so let me just put this one into. So you'll have only one organisation in your list. Okay, so we have all of this set up and create the tournament. So actually, it doesn't take very much to set up the tournament. You can simply use the basic settings, and off you go from here. So okay, we think about Tornelo. There are three different people who are using Tornelo. There's the organisation or the organiser. So maybe that's the school, maybe that's the club, maybe that's the principal of the school wants access to this. So in your organisation here, you have this roles, and roles means that you can give lots of different people. Okay, we can see all of these different people can be administration for this organisation. That means all of these people can then access all of the tournaments in this organisation. So you can create tournaments, but your principal can still come and visit those tournaments. Or you can get somebody else to create all the tournaments, and then you can go back and run the tournaments. So you have the ability to share your all of your tournaments with other people in the organisation. So there are two different roles. You could be an administrator for the organisation or an organiser. An administrator, they have access to remove people, right? So I can remove somebody from the organisation and now they don't have access anymore. Or I can add people, right? So that's what an administrator can do. An organiser can only create tournaments. So they can make more tournaments, and those tournaments belong to this organisation here. So if this is your school and you want even some kids to make tournaments, and you want some student-led activity, you can do that as well. But you can make the students an organizer, and the students can organize their own tournaments. They can create their own tournaments. When they come, they'll have the run an event button. Okay, so it's a nice way to share responsibility, so you're not responsible for everything as an organizer. So as the organizer or the administrator for this organization, you'll create some tournaments. The second person that's interacting is what we call an arbiter. And the arbiter is the person who runs the chess tournament. Okay, so Now we're getting to see the view of the arbiter, and later on we'll get to see also the view as a player and what you can do as a player. So as an arbiter here, we have, excuse me. As an arbiter, we have control over everything that happens in the tournament. So the arbiter is the one who will tell the players when to start their games, when to finish their games, who's playing against who, all of this information. Okay, so the arbiter has 2 pages which they can view. We have this, which we call the tournament lobby, and then we have the pairings program. Now, the pairings program and the lobby, you can switch from them here. It says lobby, and then when you come back to this page, it says pairings program. This idea of a pairings program is a little bit of history, because Tornelo was first built in 2008 to manage our chess tournaments. And when we built this, it was all for face-to-face chess tournaments, all for over-the-board chess tournaments. So the pairings program lets players, to organize players who are playing face-to-face. The tournament lobby is new technology. It's built all within the last 1 or 1.5 years, and this lets you play live games. So the difference between the two is that anything that happens in your tournament, it will automatically change in the tournament lobby. You never need to reload your page for anything at all. But in the pairings program, okay, any changes that happen in the pairings program, you have to reload the page to make some changes. Okay, so what I would suggest is normally I have 2 tabs open for each tournament. I have the tournament lobby, which is where everything is updating and changing, round by round. And then I have my pairings program, which has all of the actions that I can take in this one. So I'm going to show you some of the functionality on a practice tournament that we use. We call the Skywalker Challenge. And so you'll see in the Skywalker Challenge, we have already some players that are playing. We have here also the tournament lobby. Okay. Now, if I make some changes in the tournament lobby, nothing will change in the pairings program until I reload the page and get the new information. Okay. So maybe we have 2 arbiters or 3 arbiters working together on one tournament. Okay. We can do that, but any changes that are made by one person, they won't be seen in the pairings program for the other person until you reload the page. Now, this pairings program is slowly being rebuilt into the new technology, and within the next 2 or 3 months, it will completely retire, and all of the functions will be just in the tournament lobby. Okay, and when that retires, you won't have to leave the tournament lobby to make the pairings or to change who's playing against who. You'll see all of this information will be just in everything in the lobby, and it'll all be updated instantly. So if you have 3, 4, 5 people working on one tournament at the same time, if you have a big school championships and you need lots of arbiters to help, you'll be able to do that, and you don't have to worry about reloading the page. Okay, so yeah, everything about this tournament lobby page is also mobile friendly. So you could run this chess tournament from your phone, and it would still function correctly. The pairings program does work on a phone, but you're pinching and zooming a lot. It was built pre-responsive design days, and so because it's a little bit older, it's a little bit harder to use on a phone, but it should work on a phone. And both of these pages, the pairings program and the lobby, both works on any web browser. We recommend to use Chrome. It's the best browser to use for the site. And Tornelo may not be supported on some very old browsers like Internet Explorer. It won't support, but yeah, any modern web browser, Chrome or Safari, Edge, you should be fine to access all the functions. All right, so let's look at what happens as an arbiter who's organising a chess tournament. So we have here a couple of things. We have our player list at the start. Okay, and the player list shows all of the players who are registered for your tournament. Okay, in this example, we have even some people who've paid registration fees. Okay, I can understand in a school situation, usually there's no fees, but okay, we have all the players' information here. So this shows you all the players from the whole tournament. Okay, in one tournament, you can have different what we call divisions. So here we have for the Sith, we have Jedi, we have the Death Star divisions. Maybe you have one big tournament with kids from the third form, fourth form, fifth form, and you can have different tournaments. A division is a group of people who are going to play against one another. Okay, so we can use our filters to see. Okay, just show me all the people who are in this one division. Okay, show me all the people who are ready or not ready, or who have not paid. Okay, so we can have different filters here, so you can see in the player list everybody who's in your tournament. We have also these dots down the left-hand side. Okay, this grey dot means that the player is inactive, but once we actually create a tournament, we'll get everybody to actually register for the tournament. We can see what it's like to be a player. I'll show you that all of those dots will be green when the player is actually active in the tournament. So you'll be able to see all of your players. Are they present? Are they ready? What's happening in the tournament? Okay, so that's where all of your player lists, so you can see all the information about all your players. Okay, we have in each division also what we call standings, which is the list of the scores so far, and then maybe you have teams that are in your tournament. You have team standings, and then we have what we call the pairings, which is who plays against who in the chess tournament. Okay, so here we have all of the players and who's playing against who. When you click on those, that will take you to the actual game that those players are playing. Okay, and so now these players can play a live game against each other, and you'll have some controls over that. Okay, we've got our arbiter controls down here. We can make some changes. We can talk to the players in this. This is a chat window. So this is your control over each games. To make new pairings and to make new games, then you're coming back to the pairings program. So this summary page, it's like the home page for the tournament. We can put some information, some images, some links, whatever we want to. This home page is customizable. For the players as well, it's good to maybe see some method of communicating with the players. So normally, while an online chess tournament is happening, the players are we're trying to talk to the players in a Zoom meeting. Okay, maybe it's not Zoom, maybe schools are using Microsoft Teams or Google Hangouts. If you're using Google for Education, you might be using Hangouts. And you can put a link to your video conference on the page, and all the players will then come to the page and they can click the Open Video Conference button, and they can join the video conference so that you can communicate with your players. And I think it's very important to be able to communicate with your players while they're playing their games, so you can talk about the regulations of the tournament, who should be playing against who, how it all works there. So that's your video conference video conference link. Okay. All of these things are set up in the tournament settings. So when we created the tournament, we saw we had a tournament settings. Here's our tournament homepage, and you can see this was the heading. This is the image. This is the regulations and the comments. And so you can make all of your information here just using these. I want this one to be a header. I want this one to be bold. And so you can just you can say, okay, this one's going to be bold, and it will put the code for you. The format of the tournament is the structure for how the tournament should work. Okay, whether you're having a tournament online or not online, if you're using teams in the tournament or no teams in the tournament, this is all set up here. And then our different divisions. Each different division, you can have different number of rounds. So we have, Jedi has 2 rounds, Sith has 3 rounds, Death Star has 7 rounds. You can set that all up here. The game rules control the actual games themselves. These are the defaults for all of your games in the tournament. You can change on any one game some of these settings, but these are the default rules for the whole tournament. If you're a coach in a school, you might like to use chess variants and use like some take me chess or anything goes. So anything goes, there's no rules. So maybe if you want the players to learn how the pieces are moving and you don't want to force the bishop to move diagonal because you want to give them like some way to do things themselves, then you can use this anything goes. You can then invent your own rules if you're using chess as a tool, as an educational tool, and maybe you've invented some educational game. It uses the chess pieces, but not with the conventional rules. You can use this anything goes chess, and you can make some, then the players have no rules. There's no pieces don't have to move in a certain way. There's no check or checkmate. There's no castling. The players have to manage everything themselves, how it's going to work. Again, if you're a coaching situation, maybe you're teaching the players about some endgame theory and you want the kids to practice the endgame, you can just take the start position that you want the players to play from, and you can put in this FEN notation, you can put that chess position in this line here. When you put the position in that line, all of the games will start from this position. So this is a good way of changing the start position. For example, if you're teaching some end game and you want the players to practice from some particular end game or from some particular starting position, you put the link in here with the FEN notation, and we can show you later on how to create and find FEN notation. But then that will let you start start every game from some particular situation. Tornelo is all in English. We don't have, we don't have Bahasa. It's all in English. But when you're interacting with the players in using the chat function, an arbiter can chat with the players. There's an automatic message when the players call the arbiter. This is the first message that gets sent. It's an auto reply, and you can make obviously something in Bahasa. So. Okay. Oh. Okay, so you could put something in Bahasa, in local language, in this chat, and then when the players make a call for the arbiter, then the first message that they'll see by default will be this message here. Okay, we have some other options for the games. Do you want players to make some public confirmation that they're going to play fairly and honestly, because fair play is really important in online tournaments. We don't want people to be cheating or getting some help while they're playing their games. They should be playing independently, and so we have a lot of things in place to try to encourage the behaviour of the players to be good behaviour. So when they publicly say yes, we're going to play fairly, this can sometimes help a little bit to remind them that's what they need to do. Okay, these are our settings about the game itself, about pre-moves, or can they ask their opponent for take back, these sorts of things. Sophia rules, do you have to wait some time before you have a draw, and then threefold repetition type of results. Your clocks, okay, in school tournaments, you're probably playing some quite fast games, so maybe like 10 minutes, which is 600 seconds, plus 5 seconds of move might be the longest games that you're playing. And you can have for just the whole game, or you can have this time for some period of moves, like, and after 40 moves, we're going to give some extra time, or we're going to take some time away, or we're going to change the clocks, whatever you like. So you can set the timer however you like here. These buttons here are the green buttons that we saw that are linking in the tournament lobby. So I'll show you the tournament lobby again. At the top of the page, there was this, in the home page, there's these two buttons, video conference button and the second button. So we can have these buttons here. This tells you the video conference link, and you can put your link here to Zoom, or to Google Hangouts, or whatever you like. Okay, the second button, here we just said click here, but you can make any buttons you want here. We talked about privacy already, and then this is the online entry, so we can take a registration online, and this is if you're running some international tournaments. So these are your tournament settings. Okay, so now we're going to look in the pairings program. So once all your players are registered in the tournament, you'll have a list of all of your players here. Okay, you can change all of this information if you like to. So let's say, for example, the rating of the player. So the rating tells you what order the players are playing in. Over time, the players will get a rating on Tornelo. They'll have a platform rating, and it will keep track of the strength of the players, and it will come for you there. But you can make changes to this one by yourself, and you can say, actually, I want the person's rating here to be just 2,400. Okay, so we can make their initial rating 2,400, and you'll see that the rating for this player changes. When we reload the page, it will resort the players. Now, Padme is the 5th seed in the tournament instead of the 3rd seed. So you can make changes to players' ratings in this space here. Okay, and this is all the information that you can change. What team are they playing for? So what group are they? A group is a team, and then you can have like a secondary version of the team. So within the SIF, there could be like a team, a B team, a C team. So you can have the group is actually the name of the team. All right, so once all your players are there, you're ready to start their tournament. You click Start Now. You can choose which person's going to be white or black in the first round, and then we create the pairings for the first round. And this shows you who's playing against who, the players that are white, the players that are black. And when you look in the tournament lobby, you'll see all of the games are set up for all of the players. Okay. So in the tournament lobby, that's where you get to see everything live. So we have these little red icons next to every player. Okay, on the left and the right-hand side, those icons next to the player is your connection status. So you can see which players are connected, which players are disconnected from their games. Right? So the players will play their games, and after the results will come automatically into the tournament lobby. Okay, so let's say this game is being played. Okay, I'm just going to put the result in myself. As an arbiter, I can declare that result. So I say that okay, white won this game. And all of the results will be automatically into the tournament lobby. But remember, the pairings program, nothing comes into the pairings program unless you reload the page to get all the changes. So now we made those changes. We can see at the bottom here, this result is in place. Okay, we can sort it by table number. By default, the results with the games that are finished are at the bottom and the unfinished games at the top. So here we see the result between white and black. That's a win for white. So we can sort things. A good feature for kids tournaments, for school tournaments, is the ability to change the pairings quickly. So for example, if somebody isn't coming or two people aren't coming, they can't make a connection, I want to change things around. I can click the little pencil icon. I can say, okay, I want Padme to play here, and it will move her from one place to another place. Okay, and it's changed all of the results. It's recreated all the games. And now I can put Boba Fett into this position here. There we go. And that will create the games and change it, and everything's set up with those players. So it's very easy to swap people around from one to another. You can even do that round by round. So at the start of the round, you can say, let's make a roll call. Okay, these are the 5 people who are here, and these are the people who are away. Okay, Anakin just came. I can add him to the list as well. And when we make the pairings, it's only going to do the pairings with these people who have marked as present. So you may be, I know a lot of school tournaments that I'm organizing, we're playing just one game each week because we have just an hour for chess club at school. And the chess club at school, you have a lesson, you're talking about some strategy, and then you play just like one tournament game each week. So I'm marking the roll at the start of each week. I click to pair the next round. Okay. It's asking me, I didn't finish all my games from the last round, but that's okay. And it's only going to pair the people who you've marked as present. So you get, as an arbiter, to do this roll call for players, so that you can see, okay, who's here today and who's absent. Okay, so after round 2 is finished, all the results are in. At the start of round 3, you might have some players that you want to join in. If you hold down the shift button and click, you can take everything can toggle on and off. That's holding shift and clicking here, holding shift and clicking here. So you could start the opposite way. If none of the students are in the classroom yet, you can make everybody absent. And when they walk in, you say, okay, these are the players who are present. We can get them into the tournament. In any game, you can also delete the round, go backwards, cancels all the games, and you can go back to the previous one. So this pairings program is where you're making manual results. If you want to, you can change, or the automatic result came in, okay, with a win for white, but you want to change it to a draw, you can change it, no problems. So you're in control of everything. You can change whatever you like to when you're the arbiter for the tournament. Okay, so we have pairings, we have results in the standings. All the players will get to see everything in the tournament lobby automatically. And if you share the link with somebody, then as a spectator, they could also see everything. So as a spectator, it will show you exactly the same things. So you can still see as a spectator all the games, you can still see the live games, and you could watch the players playing their game live if you wanted to. So as a spectator, or as a parent, for example, they can still watch everything that's going on. So it can be very helpful to share the link for the tournament with the parents of the students, and the parents can come and watch live, all the results of what's going on. Okay. So what I want to do is now take a look at the system from the player's perspective, and I'll show you a few things at the same time from the arbiter's view, but when you're a player. So what I'll do is in the chat, I'm going to share a link. Okay. I'm going to share a link to the tournament, and I'm going to ask you to register for a tournament. Okay, and then you'll get to see what it's like for a player, and we can start taking some questions about how that works. So let's just go back to the Arbiter Workshop event that we just set up. Okay, so we just made this practice event. And what I'm going to do is I'll just check the settings. I'm going to see online entries. Yes, we can accept entries online. Okay, we haven't set up any entry fees for this one. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. I can make a maximum number of players. Maybe I only want 200 people to be playing in this tournament. After that, it's going to be a bit crazy. And we're just going to play this game with 3 minutes and 2 seconds in a move. Okay, so all of this is set up, and what I'll do now is just share this link with you. And when you come to the page, you won't be an arbiter. You will see this one here. Okay, so the process you need to go through is to sign in. You won't have an account, so you'll create a new account. You'll put your email address, your name, and you make a password, and then create your account. All right, so maybe my email address is chess24@chess.com.au. Okay, I create my account. And now I'll be straight into the tournament. Okay, I'm here as a spectator. If I want to play the game, I'm going to enter the tournament now. So enter now. and you'll go through the process of adding a player to the tournament. So, okay, put your name in. It will check if that player profile already exists. You know, are you already on the system somewhere? If you're on the system, it will give you, you know, options. If you're not on the system, you'll ask to remake a new player. Okay, so you could have one player. Maybe if you're a parent with 2 children, you can have 2 children on your account, and you can be entering multiple people. So then the next questions are all optional. Okay, you don't have to include a rating, you don't have to include year of birth, nothing like that. This is just optional. You do have to enter a phone number. That's required field is a phone number and an email address, so that the tournament organizer can contact the players and then confirm the entry. And once you've gone through that process, you'll see it will show you a message at the top now to say that you're a player in the tournament. And if you're ready, you can click the button check in, and then we know that you're ready for the tournament. Okay. You'll see in the player list all of the names of the people who are registered for the tournament. Now we can see the green icon. As an arbiter, I'll be able to see the same thing, player list with a name, and I can see that you're ready to go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just share with you this link, and I'll ask anybody who wants to play a game. It's not as serious, it's just to get an idea so that you can understand what is it like to be a player in a tournament on Tornelo, and you'll understand a lot about that. So I've just shared the link here, okay, to the practice event. Just click on the link, go through that registration process, add yourself to the tournament, and once you've added yourself to the tournament, I'll be able to see all of the teachers who are signed in, and we can just play 1 or 2 games so that you can see what it's like as a player on the player's side. So I've put that link in the chat. If you can go from there to the tournament page, you can make a registration. I can see already we have like 4 or 5 people who are registered. That's really good. I'll share my screen again as well. And then you can see the process that, you know, what I see as well from this. Okay, so I'll just share my whole screen. So you can see these are the players who are registering. This is my player list. And I can see that they're all starting to show up in the tournament now. These green dots here tell me that the players are active in the tournament lobby. Okay, so of course, everybody should be active in the lobby because you've just signed in, and it will tell you this timestamp as well. So you can see that, you know, the fake person that I put in, which is called my name, that they weren't active in the lobby for 2 minutes. Okay, if I go back to my list as a player and I do something, I click on something, I move around, okay, I change the navigation somehow, then that's going to make my my name active immediately. Okay, so all of the players are listed here, and it tells you. Okay, I can see the green connection. I can see when they were last connected, which can make it easier for you to understand what your players are doing. Okay, this is me as a player. Okay, so this is my arbiter view. It says that you're an arbiter. When I actually make the pairings, I'm going to use the pairings program. So I'm going to open up 2 tabs, the player list in the tournament lobby. This one's updating automatically. You can see we have already 11 people registered, 12 people now. It just updates by itself. So we can see as the players are connecting and registering, it's automatically updating. The tournament pairings program still shows 11 people, right? Even though now we have 14 in the tournament lobby, because remember the tournament lobby is updating automatically by itself every single action, every single change. If I want the last players into the pairings program, I need to reload the page to get all the players into the pairings program. Okay. So we'll just give another 2-3 minutes. Okay. So what you'll do is you can ask the players to make a registration for the tournament themselves. This is usually the easiest way because they set up their account and everything works easily for them because they set up their own account. It's also possible if you have in your school, you want everybody to play, you can also upload the entries to the tournament from a CSV file. So CSV is like it's a type of Excel file you can save as CSV. So I'll just show you this template. Okay. So you can make, for example, an Excel file that looks like this, and you can just put all of the information that you need in here. Actually, there's not a lot of information really. So you could put the child's name, and you can put their email address. Okay. And even if you just take just this information here, you put the child's name and the email address, you save all of this, you can import this, all of this information here, you don't even need it, okay? You can just have the first name, last name, and the email address for all the students. If they have some like international title or something like that, you can put their FIDE ID, that's their international code, but most school tournaments, all of this stuff is going to be irrelevant, you're not going to use it. You'll just import the first name, the last name, and the email address. And when you save that, we upload the file. You'll see it's got the name of the person that we're importing and their email address. What that's going to do is that will create this player, okay, and it creates an account for this email address and sends a mail to that email address asking for the player to create a password. Okay, so the student does need to be able to receive emails. So I know some student email addresses are just for sending and receiving within the school, and you can't get external emails coming into the system. So make sure that the student email is open to receiving emails from Tornelo. When they receive the email, they can just click the email, set their password, or if they go to the site without the email, they can just use their email address and click forgot password to reset their password, and then they can sign in and play the games. So you can take the entries in a different way if you want to just make an Excel file, save it as CSV, and then you can import the list of all of the players, and it will create all of the accounts automatically and enter all of the people into the tournament. Okay. So the students still need to sign in. So you'll always be signing in to play a game. So the students will need to know their email address and then they need to create a password. So they need to have an email address and a password to play. All right, let's see how we're going. We have up to 25 people now, so I think that should be enough to get things going. Even for today, we're going to use this ready checkbox. And so we've asked that all players, if you're going to be playing, at the top it says you're a player and then check in. If you want to play, you need to tick that and to say, okay, I'm checked in, it's green, I'm ready to play. If it's blue and it's like left like this, we're not going to include you in the first game. You can join in later on, but for the first game, you need to be checked in. So this check-in process is helpful. If you've imported all your players, then you ask the players to go to the page to sign in, and then once they're signed in, to check in. Okay, and they put this green check mark next to the person's name, and that will tell you as the arbiter, they're signed in, they're ready to play. We can see their connection status, but also we can see that they've been able to tick that box at the top of the page. Okay. Okay. All right, so we have still a couple of people want to register. That's okay. you'll be able to register for the tournament even late. So I can show you here in our tournament settings, even after we make the first game. See here it says late entries, allow late entries. If I turn that off, then we're not going to, once the first round starts, we're going to close the entries. Nobody else can join. But okay, for this example, we're not going to do that. And so you'll see, even when I start the first round, if you're coming late, it's no problems. You'll be able to join later on. So here's our player list. I can see most people have checked in. If I want to see who is absent, this just shows me the people here that have not yet ticked the box at the top of the page. Now, it might be because they don't want to play, it might be because they're absent, or maybe they just forgot to tick the box. So if you have all the players in the Zoom meeting, for example, then you can make a reminder. Hey, please, Mimi, you didn't yet tick the box. So Mimi, if you can click the button at the top of the page, the blue button, that will put a tick mark in there, and we can join the tournament. Okay, so see, Mimi ticked the box now. It's so good, it works. Okay, Patricia, also, if you check the box, or Kozin, anybody who wants to, one, if you want to play, you just at the top tick that box, and you'll be into the tournament. So the way that to explain to your players what's happening is they should be seeing a message at the top and a blue button. Okay, so this is the player view. It says you're a player and check in. So all the time, the players should be on the tournament page. They can be navigating around, looking at different things, watching other people playing their games, doing lots of different things. But all the time, there'll be this message bar in the header, and the message bar tells them what they need to do next. So, it tells them when they're going to play their game, there's going to be a blue button, and then they can click that to play their game, right, when the pairings get done. Okay. So I think we have, let's see if there's any questions from people that need to be answered. Yes, when you first sign in, you end up on this event summary page, and I didn't include any information on this page. This is just empty page. So normally you can make some settings. So if we click edit, this is our home page. So we can put some information on that home page. So when everybody comes to the tournament the first time, you'll see some description. But okay, I didn't include that one this time because it's just a practice. If you go to the player list, now you'll see everything. Okay, you can see all the players who are there, and there'll be more things on the left-hand side as we're going. All right, so I'm going to do the pairings for the first round. So you can see the first round pairings. We now have 39 players, which is great. Anybody who didn't tick the box won't get included in the first round, right? So one, for example, Muhammad and anyone else who didn't tick the box, it's okay. It's actually good if you don't, because then I can show you how we can add you to the tournament afterwards. So to get this action happening, I'm going to go to the pairings program. The pairings program hasn't changed since I last looked at it, so I still only have 16 people. So I'll reload the page. Now I have 39 players. I can see all of the green check marks are now here. So this is now the roll call. And I can see that a couple of people did not register, did not put the tick in the box. And so I'm going to click start now. Okay. It's going to ask me, what do I want to do with these people who didn't check the box? So I'm going to withdraw them for the tournament, okay, because maybe they don't really want to play in the tournament. Okay. The next question is like, what color do you want the top player in the tournament? Do you want them to be white or black? I'm just going to leave this one to be random. And then this acceleration pairings is when you've got a very big tournament with not many games. So not so important here. Okay. When I do the pairings, you now hear a noise, and you'll see a button at the top, a blue button that says play now. Okay. When you see that play now button, if you click the button, you'll be in onto your games. Now, I'm here as the arbiter. You can see my screen. I go to round number 1. That's the current round. This is in progress. And I can see all of the green connection status. So if the player's green next to their name, that means they click the play now button and they're actually in their game. Okay. And when they start the game, I can see the clock starting to tick on my screen. So I've got an overview here of all of the things which are happening in the tournament. So I can see on board number 2, Nur Hidia, congratulations, click the button and is in, but Elip John Lipon is not connected yet. When both players are connected, you can just start playing the game. You don't have to wait for everybody to come. Okay. So we can see a few people did not yet connect. Okay, Kenshin, I was just going to give the example of Kenshin and Safi, but they connected now. And I can see green connection on board number 1 for Kenshin and for Safi as well. So both players are connected to the game. Okay. So to start the game, you just make a move. As an arbiter, I can go to any game. So I'm going to go to this game on board 1. I can see that the players are connected. It's a green connection for white, a green connection for black. And I can manually start the clock if I want to. For Kenshin, I click start clock. Well, you just made a move. Everything's good here. Okay. If I want to, I can pause the game. I can do something. I can take back your move. I've got the ability to do that. But now the players are playing their game. I can watch the game if I need to. So I'm back here on the pairings for the round. I can still see a few people who've got a red connection, and there's a few people who've both joined the game. So for example, this game here, let's see. Okay, we've got 2 connections. It just started. Okay, is anybody else not starting the game? Okay, cool. One person's found the button call the arbiter. When you call the arbiter, you can see I've got this message here, call the arbiter. With this one arbiter call, I'm going to follow that link. And I'm now going to have a chat box. And they've asked, how do you start the clock? When both players are connected, white can make first move. Okay. So at the moment, I can't start the clock. Well, I can start the clock if I want to for Mod, but Herman hasn't joined the game yet. So sometimes the players don't connect as quickly. Okay, so Mod, you and Herman are now both connected. You can see the green icon. So you can just make the move and start the game playing. Now you can see everybody takes a different amount of time to get to the games. Okay, so some people can take 1 minute, some people can take 2 minutes. Right? We don't want to rush things and force everybody to have their clock started straight away, because a lot of people then get an advantage on time just because they were faster to click the button. Okay, we have a few arbiter calls here, so let's go and try to solve those calls here. Please call my opponent. Okay, both is connected now. Okay, and then I can resume the game. Now when both people are connected, okay, Mr. Segamat, you can make your move and start the game. So if both players are connected, they can start. So I'm going to go now to some of these other players. Okay. I'm just going to restart that game here and let John Lipon, you can make your move. Just click on the square and click where you want to move to. Click from and click to. Let's just end some of these, finish these arbiter calls. So you can see from my side what the arbiter has to do. Okay, so arbiter comes, I can chat to the opponents, to the players, keep everybody communication going on. I can say, okay, Rizwan, don't worry, Mimi is maybe going to join the game soon. So Mimi, if you can, click the blue button at the top of the page, play now, and that would be good. Okay. This one called the arbiter, but didn't ask any questions. Mouse slip, please start again. Okay. So in the case of a mouse slip, as an arbiter, I can just take back the move. Okay. So I'm going to take back the move. Here we go. Yeah, I can take back some moves and we can continue the game. Okay. So it's possible for the arbiter to take back moves in the game. So Mohammed and Haviza, this was taking back the moves. So I can take back one, I can take back more than one, whatever I like. Okay, you have to make your own decision when you want to do that. Okay. Let's see, what's our question here? Okay, Black needs to go to the toilet. Good question. This is exactly what the kids are asking all the time. Maybe I say, okay, you can go, but I'm going to make a penalty for you. And I'll click adjust clocks. And if you need to go to the toilet, I'm going to give you a 30-second penalty or a 15-second penalty and make you just down to 1 minute. So I can change your clock and restart the games. So as the arbiter, I can pause the game anytime I want, or I can make some changes. So let me go back to the arbiter call. So this is my job as the arbiter, is just to see these messages that are coming here, to visit the game, to see, okay, Mimi still isn't connected. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to start this clock for this one game. So I'm going to click start clock. And now Rizwan, your clock is ticking and you can make your first move. Okay. So now Rizwan can make the move. And if Mimi doesn't connect, then her time can run to 0. Okay. And lose the game. All right, we've got one more arbiter question. Okay. So this game is finished. Okay, the game is over. White ran out of time. Okay, so maybe the player is saying, oh, I'm complaining, I made a disconnection or something. I don't want this game to be over. Okay, that's okay. I can actually restart the game if I want to. Okay, so for example, I can say, oh, this was a little unfair that White lost on time. I can restart this game. I can continue from this position. I say, I'm going to restart the game. I'm going to give players a little extra time on the clocks. Okay, here's 1 minute each. And then I can continue the game, right? So, okay, sometimes kids do something that's wrong. Now the players are continuing to their games. Okay, Calvin has to know, because now you can see he's a red connection status, so Calvin is not connected. But Calvin, if you go back to your game, you'll be able to continue your game. Okay, so when the games are finished, then the players should just go into the lobby and just watch some things happening. Okay. Now, as the arbiter, I can see there's 1 or 2 games that didn't start yet. This is 0 moves, 0 moves. If I want to, I've got the button at the top, start all clocks, and I can start all the clocks that didn't start in the round at the same time. So now all the clocks are started, and anybody who's red is disconnected, and they're going to be, they're not playing any moves in the game. Okay. So this is how I can control the tournament. Okay, I can say we're going to restart games. I can say when we're going to start clocks, and I just wait. I'll hear a noise when the arbiter call comes in, and I can click arbiter call. So all of this action I'm taking in the tournament lobby. When I'm ready, I'll go to the pairings program and make the pairings for the next round. But before I make the pairings for the next round, I want everybody to finish this game. Okay. So we can see here, there's just a couple of people who have not started. And so while they haven't started, I'm just going to show you for those people who came a little late. So we now have 46 people instead of 39. And some of these players didn't play the first game. Okay. Some of these people have their name crossed out. Okay. So for example, Muhammad, my name here is crossed out. This crossed out means that they're withdrawn. So let's check this. So these are players withdrawn. they were the ones who weren't present when I made the pairings the first time. Okay. Now, these players here will have a button at the top of the page that says you're not going to be paired, rejoin. And if I want to be paired for the next round, I just click rejoin. And then, okay, I'm unpaired now, but it will give me a blue button as soon as I've done the pairings. Okay, so you can see I've rejoined the tournament. If I want to withdraw, I can come here, withdraw from the tournament. Okay. And then I get the button to rejoin if I want to. So a player can rejoin themselves if they've been withdrawn by the arbiter. Okay, so some people were a little late for the first round and they didn't tick the box at the top. Okay, we can see the players now who've withdrawn from the tournament. If you don't want to play the next game, you can do the same thing. Okay, I can say, oh, I'm going to skip one round and just skip round 2. Or I can completely withdraw from the tournament altogether. Go withdraw. The other thing you can do here is in your account, user account there, you click that and click game preferences. Wow, this, I guarantee this will be the first question all the kids asking is they're asking, how do I change the color of my chessboard? I don't like blue, I want red. Okay, you can have red. I don't like red, I like green. Okay, you can change whatever color you want. Okay, you can choose purple, blue, green, whatever color you want here. The colors are all there. They can also change the style of the pieces. I want some more modern pieces. Okay, well, here's some modern pieces. That looks interesting. That's fine, they can do that. And they can also set the ability to make pre-moves or do some streaming, and they can settle their settings here. Okay, so that's your game preferences that the players can set that up. So I'm not going to be paired. I'm going to rejoin. Okay, I'm not going to skip the next round now. I'm going to be playing that. So that was as a player. Let's go back now as the arbiter. As the arbiter, I see in round 1 now, all games are finished in round 1. So when all the games are finished, I can now start moving into the next round. Okay, in between games, I could be doing commentary on the games. I could open up the games. I can see the games that have been played, and I can talk about them with the players and say, okay, look, this is a very good move, the first move, but the second move, it's not so strong because it's blocking this bishop from coming into the game. Okay, this bishop can't get through because your pawn is in the way. Okay, so I can say it's a good idea to control the center of the board. Okay, so these green squares in the middle of the board, that's the most powerful area. And if your bishop is locked back here and can't get out towards here, it's not going to be able to control the center. So I can start sharing some little advice with the players by drawing on the chessboard here. And you draw on the chessboard with the right mouse button. So you click and drag with the right mouse button to draw an arrow. Okay, and your left click will clear it. If I want to make moves on the chessboard, I'll click Analyze. We don't have a computer engine that analyzes. We don't want players to get any assistance, but you can now move pieces around and say, this would have been a stronger move, because if you'd done that, you would have this very strong 2 pawns next to each other in the middle of the board, which we call a wall of pawns. This is really powerful. Okay, so this would have been a better move for your second move. Okay, then it's going to help you to get your bishop out. Maybe you can even get your queen out and go for a checkmate. So you can move pieces around the board as you're drawing arrows. You can do different colors of arrows as well if you want to. You can have different color squares. Okay, here's a few different colors so that you can do some commentary about the games while they're happening. Okay, so analyze, left click, I can do that. I can download the game itself, so that's the PGN. Okay, I can download all the games from here as well. So I've got a lot of options to import or export. Okay, so when players have finished their games, usually I tell them just click on the round 1 pairings, go and explore, watch some other people playing their games, see what's happening. Okay, so there was one game here which didn't actually get to finish. So board 15, Kyrul didn't get to play a game because Grabus didn't play any moves. So what I'll do is I'm now ready to do the pairings for the next round. So I'm going to reload the page. All the information, all of the changes that happened here are in the lobby, I reload the page, that brings them all in. And on board 15, I'm just going to make Grab us withdraw, because I noticed that they didn't play a game in the first round. So I don't want somebody to be missing and then doesn't get a chance to play a game if they want to play a game. Okay, so I can withdraw this person. Okay, of course, you can re-enter themselves if they need to, but I'm going to withdraw the player. Okay. All right, so we'll have some questions in a second. I'm going to do pairings for the second round so we can see a second round. Okay, again, if you don't want to play, you can just, I'll just go back to my player view. My player view, if you don't want to play, you can click your name and click withdraw, and you're out of the tournament. And you'll see the rejoin button. If you don't want to be paired, you'll see the rejoin button there. You can skip. Okay, I want this one to be paired for this one. Okay, so I've withdrawn a couple of people withdrawing themselves, unwithdrawing themselves. That's good to see. I've withdrawn one person who didn't play. Now what we're going to do is make the pairings for the next round. So I'll go to the pairings program. I'll reload the page to get all the last information. And then what I'm going to do is go